Hello, welcome back with one more important current affair. The world's largest iceberg, A23A, has finally broken into tiny fragments and melted after surviving for almost 40 years. Friends, this news is important because it is not only about one iceberg. It helps us understand the Antarctic cryosphere, one of the most important part of the Earth's climate. Remember one point, the disappearance of A23A alone is not direct proof of climate change. Icebergs naturally break away and melt. However, scientists consider A23A an important case study because it shows how changing ocean conditions influence Antarctica. Let's know the story of A23A. In 1986, a huge piece of ice broke away from the Antarctic Falkner-Ronne ice shelf. This process is called calving. Instead of floating away immediately, A23A remained stuck on the seabed for decades. Only in recent years did it start drifting through the Southern Ocean. Finally, due to warmer ocean water, ocean current, waves, and melting, it gradually broke into smaller pieces. Today, these fragments are so tiny that satellite can no longer detect them. So officially, the world's largest iceberg has disappeared. Now come the most important UPSC concept. Cryosphere means all the places on Earth where water exists in solid form. This includes ice sheets, glaciers, iceberg, sea ice, etc. The Antarctic cryosphere is extremely important because Antarctica contains the largest ice sheet in the world. It covers nearly 14 million square kilometers, and here is the shocking fact that if the entire Antarctic ice sheet melted, global sea level could rise by nearly 58 meters. Fortunately, such complete melting is not expected anytime soon, but it shows why Antarctica is so important for Earth climate. There are many factors that are responsible for Antarctica's cryosphere changing. The very first one is rising ocean temperature. Warm ocean water reaches below floating ice shelf. This melts them from underneath, even when the air temperature remains below freezing. Second is atmospheric warming. Higher air temperature increases surface melting, melt water cones, hydrofracturing. Hydrofracturing actually means water enter cracks in the ice and widen them, making the ice shelf weaker. Third is changing ocean current and wind. Ocean current transport warm water towards Antarctica. Changing wind pattern can push this warm water beneath floating ice shelf, increasing melting. Then comes iceberg calving and wave oceans. Calving is a natural process, but warmer water and stronger waves can increase the rate at which icebergs break apart. A23 is a perfect example of this dynamic process. This snowfall and precipitation. Antarctica gain ice mainly through snowfall. It lose ice through iceberg calving, surface melting, ice flowing into the ocean. The overall ice balance depends on which process is stronger. Now the question rises, why should India care? Because Antarctica affect the entire planet. How? I'll tell you in steps. The very first is ocean circulation. Fresh water from melting ice changes. Ocean salinity, water density, deep water formation. These can influence global ocean circulation, including the formation of Antarctic bottom water, an important part of the Earth climate system. Second is marine ecosystem. Changes in sea ice affect penguins, seals, whale, etc. When sea ice changes, the food availability also changes, disturbing the entire Antarctic food chain. Third come ice albedo feedback. Reflects sunlight back into the space. This is called high albedo. When ice melt, less ice means low albedo. Lower albedo means sunlight absorbed. More heat lead to more melting. This create a positive feedback loop, accelerating warming. This concept is very frequently asked in UPSC. Then comes your threat to coastal region. Sea level rise increases coastal flooding, shoreline erosion, saltwater intrusion, damage to infrastructure. For India, vulnerable areas include Mumbai, Calcutta, Sundarbans. These regions faces increasing long-term risk from rising sea level. Now, an important exam point is India began its Antarctic program in 1981. So far, India has completed over 40 scientific expeditions. India has established 3 research stations. The very first one is Dakshin Gangotri in 1983, Maitri in 1988, then Bharati in 2012. Currently, Maitri and Bharati are operational. These missions are managed by National Center for Polar and Ocean Research, which is an autonomous institute under the Ministry of Earth Science located in Goa. So, what is the biggest takeaway? The disappearance of A23A should not be seen as a direct evidence of climate change because iceberg calving and melting are very natural process. However, it reminds us that Antarctica is constantly changing. The real concern is the combined behavior of ice sheets, glacier, ice shelves, and sea ice because together they influence sea level, ocean circulation, ecosystem, and the future of coastal communities across the world. In short, Antarctica may look far away from India, but what happened there can ultimately affect